Growing up in a small town in Epazoyucan, Hidalgo, Mexico, Juana Barraza Samirio, born in December 27, 1957, was a 48-year-old single mother with a traumatic past. In early life, Barraza parents were Trinidad Barraza and Justice Ampirio, an alcoholic prostitute. 3 months after Barraza's birth, Justa left Trinidad to begin an adulterous relationship with a married man who was also Justa's stepfather and would eventually be Barraza's own father figure. As a child, Barraza had a difficult relationship with her mother and never learned to read. At 12 years old, Barraza's mother exchanged her for 3 beers to a man who raped her in his care and whom she became pregnant with a son. She had 4 children in total, although her eldest son died in a mugging when he was 24 years old. Afterward, her mom died of cirrhosis. During the 1980s and 1990s in Mexico City, Barraza went as a masked wrestler named the Lady of Silence, as a reference to her own shy and silent personality. She really had an interest in Mexican masked professional wrestling.
Yo soy la señora Juana Barraza Samperi.
¿Ruda o técnica?
Ruda de corazón.
¿Y dónde es más ruda, aquí o en casa?
Pues en los dos lados.
After the birth of her 4th child, in 1995, not having enough cash, she began to steal items from shop to burglarizing homes. In 1996, Barraza and a friend planned to steal from elderly people, which the two pretended to be nurses in order to gain access to the homes of elderly people living alone and then robbing them. Barraza committed another burglary alone, and a corrupted police officer witnessed her, so he demanded 12,000 pesos in return for not arresting her. In 1998, a lot of elderly people were brutally murdered in Mexico City, spectating an existence of a serial killer giving the name, the Little Old Lady Killer, but later dismissing it with any connection between the crimes and people imprisoned for murder. In 2000, Barraza retired from wrestling, where she earned 300 to 500 pesos per fight. In desperate need, she continued stealing from old people until November 25, 2002. Barraza's first victim happened to be Maria de la Luz Gonzalez Anaya. In her apartment, Gonzalez was killed when she made a comment that Barraza considered her uncomplimentary, so Barraza, enraged by this, she started beating Gonzalez before strangling her with her bare hands. In 2003, police had enough evidence and witnesses to believe that there is a serial killer. They released a wanted poster with 2 eyewitness sketches of the old lady killer, one more feminine and another more masculine. The height of 5'6", 7 or transgender women posing as a nurse or social worker. The middle of 2005, Barraza continued killing from daytime to nighttime. All of Barraza's victims were alone and usually women aged 60 or older. Barraza strangled her victims before robbing them. Residents were on edge as they noticed the unknown killings seemed to be targeting only elderly women. The police patrolling the areas where the killer was active expand and even paid elderly women to act as decoys in the park area. The police later arrested 49 transgender prostitutes who were all released when their prints didn't match to those collected from the crime scenes. The span of her killing was from 2002 to 2006. Finally, her last victim, Ana Maria de los Reyes Alfaro, an 84-year-old who was strangled with a stethoscope in January 25, 2006. Barraza was seen by a tenant as she left the murder scene and arrested by a passing police patrol. In 2008, Barraza was also connected with the other murder cases, possibility making it 40 in total, but she was found guilty of only 16 of them. Barraza was sentenced to 759 years in prison, but she will be paroled regardless in 2058, at the age of 100. During in prison, she got married and later divorced. As in right now, she's been working as a gym instructor and selling tacos.